Factor the following completely and state the method used. Now this time the method will be used, and because it's a trinomial, there's not two terms, there's not a greatest common factor, so I'm going to use the AC method. So I have a picture of my family farm because I called it the MF DARM method, but the test will be called the AC method, where you take the A term times the C term, which is part of the multiply in MF DARM. I take 5 times 2 and get a 10. And then instead of factoring 2 like I did in the previous problem that I demonstrated in video, I'm going to factor 10. And I write down the factors of 10, which are 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. It is a minus, so I want to put a minus between them. And I'm looking for the numbers that subtract to make 9, because 9 is the middle number, which is 10 and 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write an x with a 10, x with a 1, all right? And then what I'm going to do is this here. The larger of these two numbers will always, always, always match the middle sign. So the 10 has to be negative, because that's a negative up there. And because the last one is a negative, the only way I can get a negative when I multiply is a positive. So I use a positive. But that's not my answer, because think about it. Negative 10 times 1 is not negative 2. You're going, well, wait a minute. Well, how do I make this work? Well, remember, we took 5 times 2 and multiplied by 10. Now we have to divide by that 5. Oh, so if the 5 will go into the number evenly, just go ahead and reduce it. That's what the R stands for, reduce. And then will 5 go into 1 evenly? No, it will not. So if it won't go in evenly, then I'm going to go ahead and so I'm going to move it in front. Move it in front like that. So my quantity is x minus 2 times the quantity 5x plus 1. And this is what it would factor to. So let's look at another one. Now this one's a little bit harder, and this one is unique, and we'll talk about that at the end. But there's not something common where I can do a greatest common factor. There are not two terms with a minus in between where I can use difference of squares. So I'm going to use this AC method, take the 49 times 9, which is 441. And I found the factors of 441 for us already. I might go to my calculator and do the y equals 441 divided by x to find all the factors. And I had 1 and 441, 7 and 63, 9 and 49, and 21 and 21. And because this is a plus here, and this time I'm going to add it. This is the first one of these we've had today. And I'm looking for the ones that add to make 42. Well, it's the last ones, 21 and 21. So what I'm going to have is write x with a 21 and x with a 21. And because both numbers are the same, it really won't matter. But the larger number always matches the middle sign, which is a negative here. And if the last one's positive, they have to be the same side. Because the only way I can get a positive is if I have a positive times positive, or a negative times a negative. But that's not my answer, because 21 times 21 is not 9. But remember, I multiplied by 49. Now I have to divide by 49. And I'm going, oh, like on that previous one, 49 won't go into both those numbers. No, but they will both reduce. And I can't just move a 49 in front because the numbers would be way too big. But I can reduce them. And 7 will go into 21 3 times, and 7 will go into 49 7 times. I have the same number. I get this. Now 7 won't go into the 3 evenly, but I have reduced it. It's part of my MF DARM numbers here. So now I'm going to, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it in front. And this would be the quantity here. Now, the correct answer, this is going to be AC method for our test, but this is also what we call a perfect square, because the numbers were exactly the same. Each quantity was like that. And sometimes, I don't think I have it written up on here. I did not, right? But it is possible that you have a squared right there at one of those numbers as a squared, which I probably should have. And may go back and add into this a little later for those that have the actual PowerPoint to look at.